Namaskar, friends. I am Sanjay Mansukhani, and today we will be covering in another episode some of the secrets of the mind and how can you manifest whatever you want with complete power, complete intensity, so that you have no shortcoming in life at all. Your life becomes a life full of abundance. The purpose of doing these videos are especially to help people who are in the world of business, who have big dreams, big goals, but are facing some difficulty in manifesting those goals. And our mission is to bring forward the teachings of Master Key System, Sankhya, and Yoga to the people of India and other countries abroad. Master Key System is the Bible of manifestation from the modern day. It was given by Charles F. Hannell in 1910. Sankhya is a theory of evolution of this whole creation, including the individual in it. It was given by Kapil Muni about 3,000 years back. And Yoga Darshan is a deep study of the mind science and what steps can help us to achieve the inner depths of reaching the infinite mind in us, and how can we acquire power in life, and how can we manifest whatever we want to manifest in our existence. So friends, let us look at law of attraction. In these videos, we have spoken about the law of attraction multiple number of times. Law of attraction is a law and it attracts. So what is it a law about and what does it attract? In simple terms, whatever you think, by a law, will attract that thing to yourself, and you will be able to realize that in the physical world outside. So law of attraction is a law which tells you to entertain, to hold on certain kind of thoughts based on your dreams and desires in your mind, and allow those thoughts to attract, pull in matter, people, situations, so that you can have what you desire in the physical world outside, completely ready for you. Okay, so now we go into the various thoughts here. The first thought the author is presenting is that invention, organization, and constructive work of all kinds are the result of the creative power of thought. We have a thought, it has a creative power, and once we tap into that creative power, we can bring about new inventions, new organizations, and do a lot of constructive work of practically every kind. And we must remember that once when we have creative thought in our mind, we must concentrate on that thought. A concentrated thought acquires power, tremendous power. So the author is suggesting that we concentrate on the creative thought with complete faith and complete love. With these two emotions attached to thought, these two powerful emotions, faith and love, the manifestation happens effortlessly. Effortlessly means easily, automatically, on its own. In this particular slide, the author is talking about the spirit, about the true I inside. He says that without the spirit, we would be nothing. And we know that. हमारे अंदर में आत्मा है, रूह है. And if that atma or ruh leaves the body, then the body becomes lifeless, body becomes motionless. And depending on the religion we believe in, either the body is burned or it is buried. So the spirit is the most important thing in our life, and we have to focus on the spirit. Now, the author in the last line puts in a very important statement. He says, the more power we give to the spirit, the higher will be our consciousness. So what does this mean? This simply means that the spirit has infinite power, but it needs our attention. It's only when we give it attention that that power comes down into the subconscious mind, and that power can be used to also manifest and at the same time raise the level of our consciousness. I hope that you are able to understand this, because these are quite complicated terms and they might require more detailed explanation. So in case if you want to learn more, in case if you have certain doubts, do feel free to write to us and we will get back to you. What is the true business of life? It is thinking. Can you imagine the life of a person who cannot think? No, you cannot. So thinking is what is a real business in life, and power flows out of thinking. Power is a result of thinking. I can extrapolate a bit more here. When you do concentrated thinking, then you have access to concentrated power. And we have to remember that all throughout our life, we are dealing with the magical power of thought. And we are dealing with that consciousness, that spirit within us. And mind is the area where the thoughts get produced, where the thoughts get processed, and where power actually arrives. And thus, this power which comes into the mind is then allowed to move into the world outside to create for us whatever we want to create. Let us look at the last sentence in this slide. The author says, the more creative and powerful our thought is, the closer we are to the universal mind. As we have seen in the last video and many such videos, that the universal mind is a mind bigger than our subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind is an individual mind. Our conscious mind is an individual mind. But both these minds draw their power, draw their energy from the universal mind. They are products and output of the universal mind. So in order to manifest, in order to do very, very big things in life, we need to access this universal mind. We need to establish a link between the subconscious mind and the universal mind. And then we will find power flowing, and then we will find all our dreams and desires and goals happening effortlessly. Here he is sharing with us the secret of power. Power can be ours, power can be yours, only when you understand all the principles which are applicable to the mind, all the forces which work on the mind, all the methods which are used with the mind, and the combinations of mind and a perfect understanding of our relationship to the universal mind. When we use the term combinations of mind, it means various subconscious minds, various states of subconscious mind. So that has to be linked up with the universal mind. That has to be connected like a bridge with the universal mind. So the infinite energy power in the universal mind can flow into the subconscious mind, can flow further down into the world outside. But this also requires an understanding of who I am, what am I made up of, and what are the forces which are working on me? What are the methods by which I can tap the various forces and achieve higher and higher energy, higher and higher power to raise the quality of my life, to raise the focus in my life. Okay, now I'm sure you know this, but I will repeat. Universal mind is static and stable. That means the universal mind, which is the common mind for all that exists in our universe, is static and stable. That means it is not dynamic. It is not undergoing change constantly on its own. It is in a stable condition. And because it is stable, this gives us an opportunity because we are a product of that static and stable universal mind. And now we know that we are the channel for all activity because we see activity in the world outside. We see activity in our body. But the universal mind is simply static and stable. So unless and until we connect the subconscious mind to the universal mind and draw out power as we want, then we find our subconscious mind and our conscious mind becomes a channel. Our individual minds become a channel for the inner universal energies to flow through, and they can completely transform us and our world outside. So we need to understand and appreciate that this infinite power which is in us is actually omnipresent. That means it is present everywhere. So the universal mind has infinite power, is infinitely present everywhere. Therefore, however small we may be, however insignificant we may be, we have access to this infinite, large, universal mind. And it will always act through us. It is always waiting for us to approach it and then it starts giving it whatever it can, whatever we have put in as a demand. It is also important to visualize the power being within over and over again. He says, but just by knowing that you are powerful inside, once, twice, or thrice will not help. This has to become part of your predominant attitude. This knowledge has to become an automatic habit inside you so that you come into the realization, permanent realization, that there is a power deep within you. And you can do that by repeating it to yourself again and again. So whenever you need that power, whenever you need access to that power, it immediately rises to that occasion and comes out and gives it to you. So we have to understand that there are two worlds we are in, the world within and the world without. The world without is the world outside of objects, people, buildings, roads, cars, and all and whatnot. And the world within is a world made up of minds. There are conscious mind, a subconscious mind, a universal mind, and further deep, if you're able to go, the infinite mind. So these inner minds are omnipotent. They have all the power, but they are present inside. And once you understand this, you will also realize that your existence is because of this inner power. And this inner power can be tapped, can be brought outside and used for constructing a better world for you outside. The universal mind, because it is universal, it is a united mind. It is an integrated mind. It is the mind where you have complete love, complete brotherhood, complete oneness. It is a totality. And at the individual level, we are all different. We have different faces, different thumbprints, different iris prints, different names, different education, everything in all respects outside in the world, we are different. But when you go inside, when you reach the universal mind, or when you reach the recognition of the unity of all things, you will have access to this mind. And this access is called inspiration, because inspire is the spirit within. So when you go in, you connect, you are getting the source of inspiration. Now, here the author is defining what is inspiration. He says, when you realize yourself, when you realize who you are, then you are inspired. When you realize your individual minds and its abilities, then you are self-realized. When you realize the art of imbibing the universal mind, absorbing the universal mind within you, and the art of attaching the proper mechanism to the source of all power. So the universal mind is the source of all power. You have to connect it to a mechanism to take out that power. To give you a good example, let's say there is electricity coming in my house, but electricity by itself is of no use. When I connect it to an AC, it gives me cool air. When I connect it to a water heater, it gives me hot water. When I connect it to a microwave oven, I'm able to cook my food. When I connect it to a refrigerator, it is able to take care of all the food lying there. So you see, electricity is that power, and to which we attach a mechanism by which we are able to tap that power, apply that power to make better our life. Okay, now he also says inspiration is the art of differentiating the formless into form, the art of becoming a channel for the flow of infinite wisdom. So where is the formless? Formless is deep inside us. And by the time that energy, that power comes out, it is all form. We see objects in the form of shapes, colors, sizes, various ways the objects get defined by the name. So inside, it is all formless. But when we go inside and we tap, depending on what we want to manifest, it takes form and it comes out. And it comes out through a channel. And in that channel, there's a possibility of infinite wisdom, infinite power, infinite energy flowing out. So we also need to perfect the art of visualization. The art of visualization is an art which creates implants in our brain, which creates impressions in our mind. And whatever implants, whatever impressions we have put in the mind through visualization, they become reality. They happen to manifest in the world outside. And last but not the least, dear friends, you have to understand the omnipresence of omnipotence. That means all power is present everywhere in our creation. Each point in space has complete power. So we as an individual have the capacity to connect with that formless, with that omnipotence, with the omnipresence of omnipotence, and put a channel by which the power can flow into us and through us into the world outside, giving us whatever we want to achieve in our life. Yeah, again, he makes a very interesting point. He says if you want to secure a larger supply of this energy and power from within you to create your manifestation, then you must increase the demand. As you are consciously increasing the demand, as you are consciously wanting more and more power and energy from the universal mind, it will give you, supply will follow. So you will get supply of life. Life means it will give you vitality. It will remove diseases from your body, of energy and of vitality. The word vitality comes again. So our life energy is vitality. So once we are able to connect and we demand more, the universal mind will accede to our demand and will give us all that we desire. So we can get whatever we want. But there is a simple condition which we have to follow, and the condition is only ask for what is constructive and only ask for what is for the highest good of all. Your ability to connect to that infinite fountain of supply inside you will only keep on supplying that energy, that power, if your thoughts, if your creative thoughts are constructive, if your creative thoughts are meant for the highest good of all, so it can benefit as many people in the maximum amount, then you will find the supply gates opening up like no one's business. Okay, now here he says we must also have the knowledge. Knowledge of what? Knowledge of the relationship and the oneness that we have with the principle which governs the universe. You see, our whole universe is controlled by the universal mind. And we have to think of oneness with that universal mind, because actually we are coming from that universal mind only, but as an individual identity. So there our ego prevents us from going back into the universal way of thinking. We start thinking out of our own selfish interest. We start thinking out of our own individual interest. So this is where we work in the wrong way. So he says you must find out the simple method by which you can consciously identify yourself with the scientific understanding of this law. And once you understand this law, law of attraction, once you understand that there is unlimited bounty, unlimited energy, unlimited power, unlimited knowledge in the universal mind, and if your individual mind can connect, then you can draw it out. Then you will find you're free of all disease, you are free of all lack, you are free of all limitation. You will become a relentless personality. And people will come to you asking for help, asking for support, asking for guidance, because you are connected to the universal mind within. Okay, so here again, another important point he's making. He says the breath of life is nothing but superconscious reality. It is the essence of I am. It is pure being. So the breath of life here he means the spirit. The spirit is what gives us life. And this is a reality. It is superconscious. It is not the state of a mind. It is higher than the state of a mind. It is a superconscious reality. And when I say I am Sanjay, Sanjay is a name given to me. This I is the essence of that spirit. And this I is a pure being. And it is this I we must try and connect to eventually as we proceed in life. Now, thought is a creative vibration. As we had seen in the last episode, thoughts are creative and thoughts vibrate. And the mind is usually static and steady. But there is a vibration, there is a movement in our minds, there is change in our minds, there is motion in our minds. So all that change, motion is coming from thought. So thoughts are creative. They can, through the power of imagination, create anything we want in our life. So he says, what all we create in our life, what all we get outside in our life will depend entirely on the quality of our thoughts, because thoughts alone are creative. So it is very important that we generate, we create, we trigger the best of thoughts in our mind, and do not allow any meager thoughts, any thoughts of lack, limitation, any thoughts which are non-constructive, any thoughts which are negative to take place in the mind. We must always keep them out. And you must also realize that you must be before you can do. I can do only to the extent to which I am. So when I increase my capacity inside me, when I increase my mental capacity, when I increase the quality of my thoughts, when I become a reservoir of all the positive thoughts I can think of, then I find that doing happens automatically. Doing happens effortlessly. So friends, this is a very important slide. Keep it in mind. And in him we live and move and have our being. So we think we are living on this earth. We think there is the atmosphere around us. But he says, no, it is in that spirit, it is in that infiniteness that we live. And it is in that infiniteness that we move. So it is the omnipresence of the omnipotence in which we are. It is where we live, it is where we move, and it is where we have our being, our existence, our spirit. So, friends, I think this was a pretty interesting, I would say, chapter from the Master Key System, where we have given you some snapshots. But to understand it, again, it is very simple. We have to understand the power of the universal mind. We have to keep ourselves constantly in remembrance that this universal mind is omnipotent, is omniscient, is present all around us. But though we are living as an individual, this is present in our life. This is existing in our life. And we just need to connect with it. And the moment we connect with it, we will find magical changes happening in our life. We will find all the power, all the energy, all the knowledge of the world flowing out through us into the world outside, creating a world of beauty and happiness. Right, friends, thank you so much for being with us. And in case if you have any questions, please feel free to write to us, ask us, get in touch with us. We are here to help you tap the full power of your mind, achieve all your dreams, and be a good person for society. Thank you so much. God bless each one of you.